Hello everyone, my name is Tony. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Trophy Food Experiences, and this is the first time that I get to be on camera on this channel. And so firstly, I'd like to thank all the subscribers and viewers who have supported my channel all these months. Thank you so much. It's kind of a labor of love. I'm kind of just doing this as a hobby. I have other channels, which is Trophy Travel Experiences, and the one that has been going on for longer is Trophy Wine Hunter, which deals with wine. But I thought I'd make a channel just to do with food because not everyone enjoys wine. So if you do enjoy wine, you can always check it out, and you'll see in the other videos. In this video, you'll see me with a glass of or a bottle of wine and a glass of wine. That's just a promo for my other channel where I'm going to review Penfolds 389. It's an Australian wine. So again, I'd like to just thank you guys for all viewing my channel, and hopefully I can get better as we go along. This is the first time I'm able to talk to my viewers face to face and just explain a little bit about my channel. You'll notice that most of my channel is just pictures and with voiceovers. And one of the reasons is I don't really feel it's appropriate to really take pictures or take videos in restaurants. It really bothers the restaurant. It bothers the people that are eating around you. So I'll try to make it more interesting, but I want to be respectful of the restaurant and those that I'm eating with, because it's not that fun for other people if you're like filming and stopping and starting. So it's not the natural thing. So probably for YouTube purposes, it's not as good, but I want to be as natural as possible with my experience. And I'm just a regular consumer. I have no expertise in, I'm not a chef. I don't profess to have a better palate than anyone else. But I enjoy food, and I'm a foodie, and I do travel a lot, and I do enjoy food. So I can only tell you my experience. This is how I normally go into restaurants. I don't dress up. I'm pretty casual. I think I'm kind of pretty polite. And so I hope to give you the experience that most other people will have in those restaurants. So today I'm here to talk about the top 100 Canada list of restaurants that just came out, best restaurants in Canada list that just came out, and in particular those that are on the list from Vancouver, lower mainland of Vancouver. I've been to most of them, and I've been very fortunate to do that, and I can just tell you my impressions of each one. So I guess the number one restaurant in Canada on this list is Published on Main. It's on Main Street in Vancouver. So first of all, I want to congratulate them. I have done a review of that, and it says that I don't recommend it, but again, if you go into my review, what I said is I don't recommend it because I think that people might be disappointed when they go there. It's a great restaurant, don't get me wrong, but if this added layer of now being the pressure of being the number one restaurant in Canada, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, and again, it's just my own personal opinion, other people have different opinions, I think that you might be disappointed. It is very casual. I would say the service standard is okay. It's not exceptional, and the food is okay, although the food is exquisite. The actually plating and the beauty of the food is wonderful. And so maybe that's a little different than the other experts because I take into account the service, the ambiance, and how it is. But I would think that other people from around the world, if they came to Canada with the view of coming to the number one restaurant in Canada and they went to Published on Main, I believe they'd be disappointed because it's fairly casual. It's like a bar atmosphere, and service is good but very casual. Let's talk about some of the other restaurants on the list. Number 3 is St. Lawrence, which is in the kind of east side area. It's a gentrified area near Chinatown. I love this restaurant. And again, every person has their own favorites. I really think this is a different type of restaurant than published on Main. I think you'll be very impressed. It's now they've done set menus. I think they're sometimes $75, sometimes $85 for a 3-course. Exceptional value, exquisite plating. Every dish that I have there is great. Again, you can watch my review of that restaurant at the end. I've been there many, many times, never been disappointed. So I can wholeheartedly support that restaurant. Next restaurant on the top 10 is a restaurant called Boulevard. It's inside one of our hotels here. The name escapes me right now. I think it's a Sutton Place hotel. And again, I have no problem with this restaurant. If you go there, the food is excellent. The service is excellent. If you look at my review, I strongly recommend it. The only thing I said was that it was quite a little bit busy and the reception can be a little bit cold. So that was the only part of my experience there that was not top-notch, but the food, the service, the ambiance was all top-notch, and I have no disagreement with them being one of the top restaurants in Canada, and you don't think you'll be disappointed when you go there. The next restaurant on the list is number 23 is Oca Pastificio. I've never been to that restaurant, hope to go. Number 25 on that list is Hawksworth, which is inside the, I think, Hotel Georgia. I've been to that restaurant, have not had a review in this on this YouTube channel, but it's an excellent restaurant. Your typical kind of high-end restaurant. It is pricey. It is a kind of a special event. You do have to dress up a little bit more. It's not as casual. But it's a fine restaurant, and again, no problem on that list. The next restaurant is number 29 on the list is in Canada is Quercia. This to me is one of my favorite restaurants and one of the most unique restaurants in Vancouver. And it's hard to say in terms of comparing, and everyone has their own view, but I think this restaurant is the closest thing that we have in Canada to a Michelin star restaurant. And I say that because of the quality of the food, the artistry of the food of Joel Watanabe, and what he does with the food. There's always specials that are surprising, and the service standard is very, very high. Exceptional service standard. Casual, inviting, but really, really attentive. So I would really put them up there much higher, but that's my personal preference. In number 32 place is Quercia. It's on the west side of Vancouver. Nice Italian restaurant, spectacular food, good wine list. Again, the service is a little bit more on the casual side. So again, if you just don't care about service and you just want the food, maybe that's how people judge things. But I'm a person that actually enjoys the experience and the service, and I would say it's okay. The service is, I wouldn't say it's bad, don't get me wrong. It's not at the same notch as definitely Quercia. I'd put there right up there. Then I would put St. Lawrence and Boulevard and Hawksworth, and then kind of casual service, I would put Published in Main and the Quercia in the same category in terms of service standard. Next restaurant on the list is number 41 is Lena. I also have been to that restaurant. I think it's on the kind of west side between the border of West Vancouver and East Vancouver. Good restaurant. Again, fairly casual. I put that in the same category as Published on Main and the Quercia. Like fairly casual restaurants, good food, don't get me wrong, good food, even maybe great food, good drinks, decent wine list, and very casual atmosphere. Next two at 46 and 47 are Japanese restaurants. One is Tojo at 46, which is iconic in the city. It's on West Broadway, and then Tetsu Sushi Bar number 47, which is in the west end of downtown. Tojo I have not been to for many years. I did go back many, many years ago, but the only reason I don't go is that it's super, super expensive. So that's the only thing about that. That's really expensive. Tetsu Sushi Bar is also fairly expensive, and it's really small. I think it's fairly specialized. It's got some unique sushi. You can see, I think, some pictures on my Instagram page. I didn't even take a full review of that because it was fairly limited, the menu. So I would say it's good, but it's pretty pricey. Next restaurant at number 48 is Laboratoire in Gastown. So this restaurant I've been to a few times, not recently. The only knock on this is that service can be spotty. It can sometimes, and again, this is personal preference, but to me, it can be a little bit uppity. And in fact, they used to have a restaurant, which is unfortunately closed now, right across the street called Coquille, which was seafood. And I preferred that restaurant much more because the service was way better. And so Laboratoire, at least from my experience and from people that I know, it can be hit and miss. You can get some great service and you can get some not so friendly service. And so, well, I'll leave it at that. I mean, it could be that just, you know, sometimes it's just you don't get along with the waiter or something's wrong or you tick them off or whatever. But that's kind of what I experienced at Laboratoire, and to a certain extent at Publish at Maine. I didn't think that their service is that great. So those are the two that I would kind of knock down a peg. Whereas with all the other restaurants I've had on this list, they're great. And they're not just great to my table, but I also look at other tables and they're always great to whether you're a VIP, a regular, just the first time, they seem to be nice to everyone. Next restaurant is Botanist at number 61. That's inside the Fairmont Pacific Hotel, one of our nicest hotels. I haven't been there post-COVID, so I haven't been there for a couple of years. But prior to that, I really loved it. They have had some change in staff, but the chef hasn't changed. Chef Laguna is a spectacular chef. And so I don't doubt that it's still great. I should go back. It's a wonderful place. It's a wonderful concept with a lot of greenery. And I think from what my memory was, the food was excellent. So I don't have any problem with them on the list. Next one is number 68, Manam. I think it's Angus Ann's restaurant I think it's on 4th or 16th, I can't remember, on the west side of Vancouver. And I haven't been there, but yeah, I haven't been there, but I've only heard good things about it. Number 75 on the list is Salvio Volpe, Italian restaurant. Again, great food, very casual. I actually liked it quite a bit, so I would put it in the same league as La Quercia and Published. It's and Lena. They're all, to me, fairly similar. They all have pretty good food. They all have nice atmospheres, and yeah, I would kind of lump them together in terms of that. Next restaurant is a restaurant called Saint Mercy. I've never heard of it, so I don't know about it. At 90 is Chiapino, and Chiapino is in the Yaletown district and downtown. Probably recognized as the top Italian restaurant out there, at least for big hitters, you know, the big wigs and whatever. I like the restaurant, and so it's expensive, and it is kind of a more dressy type atmosphere, but the food definitely is good. Next one at 95 is Bacchus inside the Wedgwood Hotel. I love this restaurant, and I've done a review, and a lot of these I have done reviews, so I will put that in the end part. I think I only put 4, but I'll try and put in which ones I've done reviews for and put links in the comment section. Love this. It is kind of more old school, if you like that. Service standard is very, very high. This is inside the Wedgwood Hotel, I think, which is the Relais Chateau hotels. Very, very high service standard. So I like that. I don't think it's uppity. I found it very casual and friendly, and so I really like that restaurant. And I'm surprised it's that restaurants like Chiapino, Bacchus, and the next one, Nightingale, are so low and on this list, and published maybe Lena and Laboratoire so high, quite frankly. At number 96 is a restaurant called Nightingale. And this is in the same group that owns Hawksworth. So it's a casual version of Hawksworth. And my experience with this restaurant has been different over the years. When it first opened, I actually went and based on recommendations of friends, I wasn't impressed. But my most recent visits post-COVID, loved the restaurant. Was there twice for lunch, loved the service, food was great, ambiance was great. So I definitely like this restaurant also. Very high on this restaurant, and I've also done a review on this, which I'll either post at the end of this video or in the comments section. There are 4 restaurants outside of the metro or the Vancouver area that are on the list. The first one is in Richmond called Ban Lao at number 79. It's a Thai restaurant, and I've only heard great things about it. It is price fixed, and I think it's got like 9 courses. It's pricey. I think it's about $175 for their price fixed menu. I think the chef cooked for Thai royalty, so I'd love to go out there and try that restaurant. At 73 is Whistler's Barefoot Bistro, which is a very iconic restaurant, probably the top restaurant in Whistler, and probably has the top wine list anywhere in BC. It's going to be pricey. And that's the same with number 89, which is also in Whistler, called Araxi. Great restaurants, but it's really expensive for those restaurants. And then number 37 is in Ucelet. It's called Pluvio, and I've never been to that restaurant. So one thing that kind of bothered me about this list, as you know, in Canada, in Vancouver, we have a large Asian population, in particular Chinese population, and same thing in Metro Toronto. But there's not one out of these 100 restaurants, top 100 restaurants in Canada, there's not one pure Chinese restaurant. And I think there's a couple of fusion restaurants that have a little bit of Asian influence, but there's not one Chinese restaurant. And that's really hard to believe, given that Vancouver has, in particular Richmond, has so many, I think probably more Chinese restaurants than anywhere else in the world other than, Hong Kong or China. And such a multitude of different type of restaurants: Cantonese cuisine, Hong Kong cuisine, Beijing, Shanghainese, Northern Sichuan. To me, that's unbelievable. And most of the food in Vancouver and in Toronto rival that of Hong Kong or China. So that to me kind of shows the spin on things, and we just have to realize that probably most of whoever these people that are doing this are not familiar with Chinese delicacies, don't know how to eat sea cucumber, probably don't want to try it, not really that familiar with innards and these type of Chinese delicacies, and probably don't have an idea what Chinese restaurants can offer. Some of them are really spicy, some of them are innovative, some of them are tastes that are not familiar to North American taste buds, but that doesn't mean they're bad, and that doesn't mean they're not spectacular restaurants. So I hope that in the future that they will either have more people that judge, that actually understand Chinese cuisine, and also that can appreciate it, because that's really, to me, very sad. Canada, again, is so multicultural and has some of the best Chinese restaurants anywhere in the world, guaranteed. And to not have even one of them have a sniff on this list is, to me, embarrassing. Anyways, that's my thoughts. Hope you've enjoyed this video. I'd love to hear comments. Again, these are my personal opinions. I'm not a wine critic. I'm not a food critic. I'm just a regular person that likes food, and everyone has their own list, and it's kind of a fun thing to kind of do that. And again, I take into account different scenarios. I take into account ambiance. I take into account service. I take into account price, and how I feel, how the atmosphere, how they treat people. So I don't know if that should be considered, but at least as a consumer, that's important to me. Hope you continue to view my channel. I'll try to get better, and also you can follow me on Instagram, or also if you like written reviews better, I'm also on TripAdvisor. Until next time, happy eating.